Toni Braxton?
Toni Braxton, I got
Toni Braxton. No, Toni Braxton ain't never had your back.
I got Toni Braxton.
I want it on record. I want it on national television. You want to say I don't have your back?
You didn't have my back
Lord
when it
Jesus,
came to your...
Word on the street is that Tamar Braxton's been getting a little too close to her sister Toni Braxton's man. Phew. The drama. Say it ain't true. Chilly. Phew, baby. Towanda Braxton just spilled all of Tamar's tea for the whole world to sip on. And let me tell you, Toni Braxton is not handling it well. It's one thing to deal with random women sniffing around your man, but when it's your own sister, the one who's supposed to ride for you, that's beyond messy. That's straight betrayal. From the way Tamar's scrambling to defend herself, it's obvious she never saw this storm coming. And honestly, no matter what she says now, fixing things with Toni might be impossible. Because every time you think the Braxton family drama has hit rock bottom, they somehow dig deeper. Right now, the Braxtons are giving baddies Midwest energy, throwing shade, swinging words, and letting every accusation fly. Sure, we've seen them clash on and off their show before, but this sister against sister chaos?
Oh, you're such a liar. Such a liar.
Man, he said he Towanda.
You know that's a lie.
I swear to
You know
God.
that's a lie. Which side are you trying to?
Your man for? You think I
Don't you?
It's a whole new level of wild. In the viral clip making waves, Tamar and Towanda reignited their never-ending feud once again. And if you know Tamar, then you know when she's mad, her mouth becomes a loaded weapon. Truths, rumors, secrets. Everything starts flying out. She even claimed she knows where Towanda lives because, asterisk, she's the one who paid the down payment on that house. But that's not even the half of it. Tamar also dropped another bomb, claiming that Towanda's been creeping behind her back for years, running up charges on her credit cards without ever asking for permission. Now that's some next-level family betrayal right there. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time Tamar's called Towanda out for being a little too comfortable with other people's stuff. Y'all remember that old tea about Towanda allegedly cashing their mama's social security checks and even dipping into Toni's money? Yeah, this family's drama runs deep. According to Towanda's bankruptcy filings, she's reportedly drowning in nearly $500,000 of debt. And get this, it even shows that she borrowed $35,000 from Tamar to help cover the down payment on her house. So when Tamar says she's been footing the bill, it's not just talk.
Which, mind you, how good of a sister can you be for you to know this information and not tell it until someone makes you mad? Like, you didn't tell Toni about Tamar sleeping with her ex until Tamar calls you out for being a thief, which you've been a thief before. So Tamar telling this would...
It checks out. Towanda has a history of helping herself to her sisters things like it's no big deal, and then acting shocked when they call her out. Girl, you know exactly what you're doing. Don't play innocent. That's some real snake behavior, and messy seems to be her favorite sport. But y'all, before Tamar could even finish spilling her truth, Towanda flipped the script and dropped the ultimate bombshell. She didn't even bother denying the stealing claims. Instead, she clapped back, accusing Tamar of doing some stealing of her own, only this time, it wasn't money. It was asterisk a man. Phew. The room froze. Tamar instantly lost it, flipping out, knocking things over, and screaming that it was actually Towanda who hooked up with the guy, not her. You could see the shock written all over Toni Braxton's face. She clearly didn't expect this family tea to spill out in public. Apparently, Towanda had been holding that secret for years, waiting for the perfect moment to throw it in Tamar's face. And when she did...
my child.
Do I know where you live?
Well, of course you don't come. So
Exactly.
my
So
thing,
how would I
I know
give
where
it
you
to
live because I put down your down payment.
It hit hard. Even more shocking, Tracy knew about it too, but never said a word to Toni. Oh, baby, it didn't stop at just one man, no ma'am. Word on the curb is that Tamar allegedly messed around with two of Toni Braxton's men. When Towanda dropped that little truth grenade, the names were bleeped out for legal reasons, but that didn't stop the internet detectives from putting their noses right into the Braxton family dinner table drama. And chili, they found plenty. First up on the rumor list? None other than Birdman, Toni's current husband. You might remember when Birdman and Cash Money went head-to-head with No Limit in that versus battle. Toni was nowhere in sight, but guess who was front and center? Miss Tamar herself, laughing, dancing, and looking mighty comfortable in Birdman's space.
Tawanda, baby, I love her to pieces. But hide your stuff when she come over, because she snatched the wig off your head when you looked the other way. She's super sneaky, clever.
At one point, she was even wiping sweat off his forehead like she was the first lady of Cash Money. Fans were quick to side-eye that moment, calling it disrespectful and weird. Tamar, of course, clapped back, saying she was simply showing love and support on behalf of her sister. She even posted a video of her, Birdman, and Toni on a call to prove there was no funny business going on. But that didn't stop the whispers. Then the internet did what it does best, dug deeper. And soon another name popped up, Mint Conditions' very own Carrie Lewis, Toni's ex-husband. Yep, this rumor goes way back to 2011 when a blogger claimed Tamar hooked up with Carrie in an attempt to climb the fame ladder. The blog even alleged that Toni had once dated Vince before passing him on to Tamar. HEW, the irony. And this wouldn't be the first time Tamar's been tied to a married man, either. Remember the whole scandal involving Michael Maldon, Jermaine Dupri's father? Yep, that mess followed her for years. So for many, the idea that she might have gotten tangled up with Toni's exes didn't sound all that far-fetched. Now, if you're asking why Tamar would allegedly cross that kind of line with her own sister, well, some folks think it was all about power and envy. Toni has always been the star of the family, the Grammy-winning, chart-topping queen. And some say Tamar wanted to prove that she could stand toe-to-toe with her, or maybe even outshine her. Like, if I want your man, I can have him. But let's talk about Tawanda for a second, because holding on to this tea for years just to throw it out mid-argument? That's pure messy energy. It's giving vindictive, not sisterly. At this point, it's hard to tell if the Braxtons even like each other. Between the betrayals, money drama, and man-stealing rumors, it feels less like family and more like a battlefield. Some fans are saying it might be time for them to step away from the cameras and go no contact for the sake of their mental health. And honestly, they might be right. Because if we're keeping it real, the love between the Braxton sisters looks long gone. The only glue holding that family together is Miss Evelyn, and when she's no longer here, it's likely the Braxton bond will crumble for good. They had the talent, the fame, and the platform to dominate just like the Kardashians, but instead of building together, they tore each other apart. Their downfall isn't anyone else's doing, it's their own. So, what do you think, baddies? Did Tamar really cross that line with Toni's man, or was Tawanda just throwing shade to distract everyone from her own mess? Let me know down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tea. See y'all in the next video. Before fame, the Bray sisters were inseparable. Growing up in Atlanta's South Side, they shared a cramped two-bedroom apartment, one microphone, and one dream: to make music that would change their lives. Tanya was the dreamer, impulsive, passionate, always chasing the next melody. Talia, older by 3 years, was disciplined, cautious, and fiercely protective. They sang in church choirs, performed at weddings, and recorded mixtapes in their cousin's basement. Their harmonies could stop a crowd mid-conversation. People would whisper, "Those Bray girls are going places." When a small record label offered a deal to Talia first, she made one condition: "If you want me, you take my sister too." That act of loyalty bound them even tighter, or so it seemed. Fame came fast. Their debut album went platinum. Magazine covers, late-night interviews, and endless tours followed. But behind the perfect smiles and matching stage outfits, cracks began to form. Talia handled most of the business. Tanya just wanted to sing and feel free. When Tanya started writing solo songs, raw, emotional pieces about heartbreak and jealousy, rumors of a solo deal surfaced. Talia felt blindsided. "Tanya, you built the business. I built the soul. Maybe that's why people love me more." That sentence landed like a dagger. Cameras flashed, security rushed in, and within a month, Tanya had signed her own solo contract. Talia married Marcus Knight, a respected music producer who had helped craft their early sound. He was charming, confident, and the calm to Talia's storm. Tanya admired him quietly, even when she knew she shouldn't. After the breakup of the duo, Marcus reached out to Tanya, offering to help her produce her first solo album. "Families shouldn't stay broken forever," he said. "Let's make something beautiful." The studio sessions felt different, intimate, dangerous. Late nights blurred into dawns, melodies into confessions. Tanya would sing, Marcus would nod, and somehow their pain turned into connection. The first time it happened, Tanya says, was after a long recording session. They were both exhausted, emotionally drained, and the weight of everything unsaid became too heavy. "He told me I was the first person who saw him, really saw him since the fame," Tanya whispers. "And I told him the same thing." Weeks turned into months. Every time she looked at him, guilt grew deeper, but so did the addiction. They met in hotel rooms under fake names. They sent songs to each other that no one else heard. Tanya describes it as a storm you can't stop because you think it's the only thing keeping you alive. One evening, Talia found a forgotten phone, Marcus's old backup. Inside, messages, voice notes, and even unfinished song drafts between him and Tanya. The confrontation turned physical. Equipment crashed. Security intervened. By morning, tabloids ran the headline. Bray sisters explode in studio brawl. For 2 years, Tanya vanished from the spotlight. No music, no interviews, just a trail of unanswered questions. Her career crumbled under the weight of scandal. Meanwhile, Talia released a raw solo album titled The Other Side of Pain, which topped charts and earned a Grammy. Fans chose sides. Some called Tanya the villain. Others said she was the victim of loneliness. But Tanya herself lived in exile, in therapy, in guilt, in silence. "You start hating yourself for being human," she says in the interview. "But at some point, you have to tell the truth or drown in it." The interview takes place in Los Angeles. Tanya sits across from host Dana Reed, who has built a career getting stars to confess their deepest secrets. She explains that the affair wasn't about love. It was about validation. Years of living in her sister's shadow, of being called the backup, had twisted her sense of worth. Tanya shakes her head. "She doesn't owe me that. Forgiveness isn't a paycheck you earn. It's a gift you don't deserve." The interview breaks the internet. Hashtags trend worldwide. Hashtag break confession, sister betrayal, Tanya speaks. Talk shows dissect every word. Some call her brave. Others call her manipulative. Think pieces flood social media. Is Tanya Bray's confession redemption or PR strategy? Yet something unexpected happens. Her honesty strikes a chord. Survivors of guilt, infidelity, and public shame start sharing their own stories. Within weeks, Tanya's streams rise again. Her old songs find new meaning. Tanya releases a single titled Shattered Mirrors. The lyrics read like a letter to her sister. Critics call it hauntingly beautiful. The song climbs to #1, not because it's catchy, but because it's real. During a benefit concert for women in recovery, Talia unexpectedly walks on stage. The crowd gasps. She doesn't say anything. She just hugs Tanya. Cameras flash. Tears fall. For a brief moment, the world feels whole again. After the concert, reporters swarm Tanya. They want to know if the sisters are reconciled. Tanya simply answers, "We're healing. That's enough." Marcus moves overseas to work in film scoring, far from the chaos. Rumor has it the sisters agreed never to mention him again. Tanya starts mentoring young singers, warning them about the traps of fame. "Talent will open doors," she says, "but if your heart isn't clean, you'll poison every room you enter." Even with success returning, Tanya admits the hardest forgiveness is her own. "Nights are still heavy. Memories still sting. Sometimes I wake up hearing her laughter from when we were kids," she confides. "Then I remember I was the reason it stopped." She describes writing as therapy, every lyric a piece of penance. She journals daily, recording not just fame but failure. A streaming service offers the sisters a chance to tell their story together in a documentary titled Bray, Blood and Harmony. At first, Talia refuses. But after months of persuasion, she agrees, with one rule: no fake tears, no manufactured scenes. Only truth. During filming, viewers witness raw moments, Tanya apologizing without excuse, Talia admitting her own pride and resentment. Talia: we were raised to compete, not to connect. That's how we lost each other. Tanya: and I mistook his attention for love because I didn't love myself. When the documentary premieres, it breaks records for most watched confession series of the year. People think betrayal begins with action, but it begins with emptiness. The moment you start believing you're unloved, you'll chase validation in all the wrong places. Her book becomes a bestseller, not for scandal, but for its raw humanity. Therapists quote it: